Hi everybody, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Kayla Hicks and I'm the author of Keystone and Outlier's Tale, which is available on Amazon. I'm also the author of Ventures and Visions, a short story collection which was newly released for free. It's just available on Amazon Books, Apple Books, and Google Play Books. It also features Steph O'Connell, who's a new author to the game. Her short story, The Quietus, is definitely worth the read. If you guys get my story for any reason, it's definitely to read hers because it will blow you away. So I wanted to have this video for you guys to kind of get an inside look at the new book that came out, Ventures and Visions, and just kind of talk a little bit about the short stories, give you guys an update on the new cover coming out, and just have some fun. So I guess we'll get started with the short stories that are included. So when we look at the table of contents, I tried to separate them so you guys knew that the Keystone universe stories were in one section and they all belong together and went with the Keystone book, which is my other book, and that the other short stories are standalone. So if we look at the first three of the stories in the Keystone universe, there's Dan and Serena, there's Darren, and there's Hemway, which are all different characters throughout the Keystone universe. Dan, Serena, we saw in the desert where they were in the half-buried town that we kind of found out was a pathway for shipping things between the cities. And then Darren, who is a trusted guard in Galveston, we kind of find out why he came to Galveston and how he felt so betrayed by the city of Keystone. And then lastly, there's Hemway, who is the one that helped Jeremy make the whole journey with this technology he needed to get to figure out how to stop the missiles at the end of Keystone. So if you have read Keystone, these are going to be great additions because you will find out more about the characters that are in the book, like the side characters, the supporting characters. But if you haven't read Keystone, these are going to be really good standalone stories to kind of give you a feel of everything that's in Keystone. So when we go further down the short story list, there's After the Shock. This one was really, really fun to write. So long story short, after the shock, a teenager that's in high school goes with her Young Ambassadors group to visit Washington, D.C. And as they're leaving, they had seen the White House and they're learning more about, politics and everything. They're leaving in a bus. All of a sudden, explosions start happening everywhere. Her bus gets flipped over and she wakes up and everything is in disarray and chaos and she can't find out what's going on. Pretty much all of her classmates are gone and she's the only one left there. And she makes her journey to find police officers, and they make the journey to the memorial and find out that the FBI had come in and the military had come in to help out. But there's a great twist at the end that I think you guys are going to enjoy. I had some other authors from my writers group help me out. Ben McQueenie and Six Xandar was able to help me make it just so much better for you guys to be able to read. So when we look at the next story, it's called One Last Time. One Last Time is about like a hitman. So he gets into a life of, I would say, an alternative lifestyle, we'll call it that. So as a kid, you find out that he was homeless. His parents just left one day and never came back. So he's homeless and he gets into the system and he gets this dream family, this cookie cutter American family, and thinks that life is great. But then finds out, 6 months later that they actually work for a government organization that does like hits, like hitman stuff. So he's trained from 14 on to be able to do this kind of lifestyle, which is crazy, but I mean, we all saw Hannah, so that's kind of with it too. So he, finally feels like he's made it out. He has an apartment of his own, he has a normal job, and he's like, finally I can lead a normal life. Well, then someone shows up in the middle of the night and says, we have one last job for you and then you're done, you're out. But it doesn't turn out to be his one last time, and I'm not going to give away the ending, but it's kind of how the story goes. When we look at the next story, it's The Drive. So The Drive finds Loretta and Mick coming home in the middle of the night from a work party. Loretta's kind of not feeling so great because Mick has pretty much spent all this time with his work friends and his work co-workers, and she kind of wanted to find out, what was so great about them that that kind of consumed his whole life. And they kind of get into an argument on the way home, and all of a sudden their car stops because something hits it. It's very, very short, but it's definitely very suspenseful, mysterious. So I think you guys will like that one. There's also the next one, which is Waking Up in a Cell. So a man wakes up in a cell, and he doesn't know why he's there. He doesn't know how long he's been there. He can't remember his name. And he is just completely confused, not sure of how to move forward or where to go. A guard comes over to his cell door and says, "All right, well, your lawyer's here." And he's like, "For what? Why do I have a lawyer?" So he walks down the hallway and he sees this very stuck-up looking lawyer. And she says, "Okay, so tell me why you're here." And he said, "I have no idea. I don't know my name. I don't know anything about myself." And he ends up finding out that he was found knocked out unconscious in a bank with a weapon, and all the money's gone. And they don't know if there's footage, and they don't know if he was involved. They don't know what happened. So it's kind of about his journey finding out pretty much what happened to him in the last 24 hours and the fact that he can't remember. But I'm excited to see how you guys react to the end of the story, because I kind of leave it open, but I think I'm just very curious. So then, last but not least, we have the Quietus, which Steph is going to tell us a little bit about here at the end of the video. And I just really hope you guys like these stories. We've worked really hard to get them out to you guys, and it's just a lot of fun to release something for free that everybody can get and have a quick read. And as an added bonus, at the end of the book, there is a book club question section, because all these stories are very diverse and a lot of them are open-ended. I myself am usually a long game writer. I like to do longer novels, so short stories were very different for me. And it was kind of a fun challenge being able to kind of end it, but not really end it. Like, you don't get that satisfying, it's the end. It's, you can leave it as the end, or you can leave it a little open-ended for the reader to kind of figure out on their own. Well, I really am so excited for this book to come out. And last but not least, I wanted to announce that there is going to be a new cover for the story. The old cover was great, but it was kind of more of a placeholder until we were able to get a more fancy and fitting cover for the story. And I really hope you guys like it. It's going to be up on all of the sites and here for the book. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. So if you guys read it and you like it, that's great. If not, that sucks, but I understand. Alright, and feel free to follow Steph O'Connell as well. She has Facebook and Twitter, which I'll post on here as well. Alright, you guys, enjoy and happy reading for the weekend.
Hi everyone, I'm Steph O'Connell, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm so excited to be doing this collection with Kayla. She's my best friend from high school. We always said we would do this, and here we are. So it's been a very exciting journey. And then I wanted to tell you a little bit about my short story, The Quietus, which is the last one in the collection. It's about two girls in the afterlife. Sophia is a Grim Reaper, has been as long as she can remember, and she loves her job, especially all the puns. And Arabella, she had kind of a hard time in life, and now she's having a harder time in death. And it's been a rough journey for her. But together they're going to journey across the underworld and kind of find out a whole lot about themselves and life and death. And I'm excited for you to take the journey with them. I wanted to use the story to talk a little bit about mental illness and depression. And I actually wrote it as 3 separate stories at first and combined them into one. So I'm really hoping you enjoy the experience. And please, as always, give us any feedback that you like. We love to hear everything. Thank you.